look at this shot. Got some cool ideas in here. How'd you go this week?
Um, I've how do I say that? Wait, I've been testing a lot of different things. Was kind of tricky sometimes, and I had to start over again. What you are seeing right now is only a rough idea, but a little bit more with more stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, I have still a lot of things to do. Like the fight scene. Yeah, I know I still have a lot of poses to add and things to make and look better.
Yeah. No, this is this is good information. What this is essentially layout. So in layout, even when I submit layout, it looks like this. Like nothing is final. Um, it's more about camera and framing, and beats as well when things happen.
Mhm.
My handwriting sucks here, but yeah,
No.
things like this. Explain to me. Just say your whole shot is. I see it like when I say beats. Do you know what I mean? When the timing of when
Yeah,
things happen in the story.
yeah.
So I always see it like if this is part one, to run, and then the dragon enters, and then this is the attack of the dragon.
Oh,
This is
I thought when you said beats, I thought that you were only talking about, the couple of hits in an animation. But I
oh
see that it's a lot of different things like running and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And then I also refer to different beats in the fighting.
Hmm.
Um, so, like you hear a lot of times, just say we're looking at this section, just say
Hmm.
this section, and then your supervisor might say, "Oh, it feels great. Let's just it's missing a beat. Let's add in one more beat of this dragon flying back, having a beat of a thought, and then coming down."
Hmm.
So that would feel this whole thing would be a beat. But then also when you talk about it from a whole like sequence as well, you can talk about it in beats. So it's all about being able to break down um, the context, I guess. I'll just finish my thought process here. So this is your whole shot. I'm looking at it, and then that's what I mean by beats. So climax is here, or
Okay.
even in your shot, actually, your shot would be because it's quite epic. So your shot kind of just keeps building. But oh wait, this would be the hit, the slide, and then the fly away, which I think is pretty cool. So you know, I see it like hit ground and then fly away with the dinosaur. And then this is like the fight. This is like intro, running, and then that's that's how I kind of see the beats of your whole shot. And I also see it as one shot. You've broken it up into a couple of shots here, again, which is cool to discuss. And then you're seeing here, so that's all the right idea. I think it'd be easier for you to handle as one shot as well when it comes to changing cameras and also like not having to deal with hooking up this pose and this pose into this shot. That also takes a bit of time as well because when you're animating on the fly, everything's really organic and you're just moving things around here, and then that just means it affects this shot, and then this shot affects, the next shot. This shot affects that shot. And what I liked about what you showed me last week was where the camera was, how it was following the T-Rex. Even from like these early ones. So for say from this camera angle, actually, what was it? Feel free to, if you have like.
Which shot are you talking about? When the camera is following my iris running?
Yeah.
Uh,
Like I love this stuff here. Um, I feel like you could do the same thing with your camera. Let's just go in. Say have your T-Rex running to camera, and we're looking up, following, almost like we're in a Jeep, right, in front of the
okay,
T-Rex, looking
okay.
up. That's how that's how I thought of it when you explained it to me, and
Yeah,
almost like this. And so
like we are following the iris running instead
yeah,
of a camera. Okay.
yeah, instead of a wide shot.
I
So
can
you
I
get
can
your
maybe show it because I did not put it here. Give me a second. I will. Uh, so maybe we have the same vision.
yeah, because that was cool. And then using the the T-Rex, like the T-Rex isn't focused on us at all. It's looking up.
Mm-hmm.
We see like the big feet, but then we have the camera kind of moving with the dragon, and it's not going to be like massive moves because the dragon's heavy, but we'll see the dragon swoop in, do one like foot kind of claw, and then the T-Rex, trying to bite, doing a chomp, and then he kind of moves across, and we're still following as everything's running this way towards us, and the dragon kind of flies around this side because the T-Rex or the dinosaur runs this way. And then that's when you can do your attack. So when it goes up, camera goes up, and then onto his head, and then it's almost like we're on this side now, the camera, and we see that smash screen left, and we're still moving, but they're still sliding forward, and then there's teeth and claws, and then he just gets taken away, or he gets knocked out a bit and then taken away, and then just because obviously the dragon and T-Rex are quicker, and they'll that's like similar camera angles to this, to here, everything kind of moving like this one here, because it's a cool angle to see the scale of them as well, and looking up, and you can just put the camera on the motion path as it's moving forward. But the timing of what you have, again, or this layout, it's good to see. Essentially, what you have here is good. Just put your camera.
And the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's a kind of
It's really going to make it cinematic. Like it's
yeah.
going to make so much difference to it. even if you wanted to show the same idea of the dragon coming down first, we could be we could still be moving. Cameras here, but the camera can be looking up at the dragon,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we'll see the
Give
dragon in the
more,
distance here.
yeah, try to give more life to the camera.
Yeah, and maybe we can see like a I was going to say head, but maybe the tail or something. I don't know, like just a bit of the T-Rex.
Mhm.
Or even if we don't see the T-Rex yet, and we're in the car, again, it'll feel like we're in a Jeep or something. So we're in between looking up, and then this car on this motion path. As the dragon's flying in, the car can overtake the T-Rex, and then the T-Rex comes into view as the dragon flies in together. Actually, be going this way to you. So, and then and then your camera ends up here, seeing the Allosaurus or T-Rex, whatever you use, the dragon coming in. And then we are here. And this would be a cool angle to see, because you get like nice silhouettes of dragon wings. They're coming down. Dragon legs there. So when that eventually like smashes down on the T-Rex, it's gonna feel like super violent. That's what you want. There's some good stuff in Avatar, like of that big flying dragon thing from that angle, looking up. And don't be afraid to use like just shapes for your layout as well. You want to use, just spheres. If you want to use just a block, because a lot of people do that. I do that sometimes. A lot of the other guys here do that as well, because they want to get like the timing of the camera, the movements, and then this is just going to be like T-Rex is bouncing, and then dragon, you can just focus on the path and the timing. Then when it hits, flies down. You want to focus again on the beats. So these shapes just let you focus on if the dragon flies here, and then T-Rex moves over here. He flies up here. Things like that. The feeling of it,
Mhm.
Because poses and everything can come later. Yeah, when you're a lot of times at this stage as well, which would be done by layout or previs, they would show supervisors, even clients sometimes want to see this if they understand what's going on, seeing these shapes. Sometimes they don't have the experience to understand
Mhm.
shapes, but supervisors can.
Um, I have some couple questions.
Yeah.
So to improvise and to make it better, I have to, give more life to the camera, to have, and to work more on the timing of what's going to happen. And um, you know, I've just to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong. I've made a cycle, like of my IREX, and I took it and I've put it there. But when he will get attacked by the dragon, I will have to bake the cycle, and then I will hand animate everything else, starting from the time where the dragon is going to attack him. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what I would do.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and once you bake it out, and then you animate the in betweens. So you're gonna bake it out, and then he'll hit. You roughly animate it. The blend isn't gonna be nice. It's gonna be like super rough. But you spend like a couple of weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks, just smoothing out, getting that hit to feel nice. So it's going to be running, and then you get transition to bake out, and then it's going to stop, and then you can now block out step keys if you want. Him getting hit, so it's going to be
Okay.
nice run.
Just to be sure, because you know, um, when I see what what I'm doing, sometimes I'm afraid of myself. Like, what am I sure I'm be able to do this? I have always this kind of stuff that happens. When I start doing something, I'm always afraid of, am I able to do this? And I start freaking a little bit out.
Yeah,
And that's why I like to be sure, if I'm not doing anything wrong. And do you think I'm I'm fast enough, or am I too slow for the timing? Um, how do I gonna say it? Am I working too slow, or am I at the right speed right now?
I think right now you're fine.
Okay.
And as the weeks go on, the more we spend time, the more I get to know uh, how you work as well and your speed. So yeah, don't feel like you're falling behind or anything.
Yeah, I'm always saying to myself, I'm falling behind, and I start freaking out. And I know sometimes my Maya crashes and I lost my files and I have to start all over again. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh man, I have to have something, to make sure that I'm catching up actually. So
yeah.
okay,
Well,
but
it's
if I'm being too slow, please tell me, because sometimes I don't see it.
yeah, it's I think you're fine. You don't have to stress too much. Even if you go over, say you have 10 weeks, if you go over, we'll just go over. It's fine. I'm not gonna charge you extra. We'll just spend more time to finish the shot as far as we can and as beautiful as we can. We're
Okay.
going to we're going to hit these beats as much as we can,
Hmm.
like these ones. And if I feel you can't hit, say, this section in in the amount of time we're going to spend together, then I will just say, in a few weeks, I'll just say, let's just make this part awesome, and you will still get running and a dragon flying and even like a dragon attacking and swooping down and a T-Rex like biting, like, you still get some cool stuff because I want you to have quality in your shot at the end,
Hmm.
and not just like a long, longer shot that's half completed. I want you to have something finished,
Hmm.
so you have a demo reel shot to apply for jobs, and you can always finish this
Yeah.
later. We can always animate this part, finish this part, and leave this for later. You know, and get this looking beautiful. A dragon landing on a T Rex and then flying away with it. It's pretty awesome. So I'm super flexible, and as we block out the shot in layout over the next few weeks, And again, it is a process. Just trust in the process, which takes a while. Never feel rushed or stressed, because as
Yeah.
soon as you do, you feel it's good to have that motivation. Like fear is a good motivator to get things done. But as soon as you start like going into your head too much, you start losing creativity and flow, which I don't want
Yeah.
you to do. I want you to
Yes.
feel like I want you to make nice, good, instinctual decisions
Hmm.
while being creative without feeling stressed and tense and any pressure. There's you start entering a different world and you start creating a different shot. So
Yeah.
again, if we're not done in 10 weeks, we just keep going. We're just going to
Okay.
keep going until you know as long as we can to get something really nice and complete for you. But for now, you're just learning as well. So
Hmm.
and I'm passing on like a process and a workflow for you to work with. And you'll find that a lot of times that a lot of animators say this is the length of your shot. Say you finish here, you'll a lot of animators, especially when they start, they think blocking is this and polish is this, whereas it's the other way around. Your blocking and your planning is like this. And then you're going to find your cleanup and your polish is like right at the end.
Okay.
Like we'll spend, say, on my last show with a client in suit, we spend weeks and weeks blocking. It's called blocking, right? Blocking plus plus, where say be like 3 months, I'll be blocking, and then once that's approved by client, they're like, "Oh, this shot's great. The beats are good. The poses are there." And then we have like 3 days to clean up after working 3 months of blocking. But everything you need, all your information,
In the block.
adding in
Okay.
all of these weeks and months, camera, posing, beats,
Hmm.
and that's still considered blocking. But it's still, changes and changes. And then it's like, okay, now just finish the shot so we can render it lighter, the intersections, and then client will look at it then and be like, final. So all of this, even up to here, you might still get camera changes. You might get, you might even get like a beat change, around here, like oh, the dragon um, just needs an extra beat in the air because it feels like it's too quick, too rushed. So let's add a beat of the dragon in the air before it swoops down.
Hmm.
So all of that is, I guess, that explanation is me just saying it's a whole process, which
Yeah, it's good to get that kind of information because I get easily freaked out actually. So
yeah,
that's my weakest point. I get stressed and freaked easily.
yeah, I think that that is never explained. This whole trust in a process, and then the chunk at the end is the polish. So all of this here is going to be it's going to be called blocking, but it's still we still want to make sure you're moving forward, but you're still going to get changes. Um, and even if layout, even if layout eats up this amount of time, say that's week 6, okay, fine. But all this planning helps you makes this part easier. Your
Hmm.
week 7, week 8, week 9, and then again that will help this part quicker. So everything you put into here, it's going to help that to help that. But if you try and do this part too soon, this will just drag on this part, and there'll be more frustration, or the planning and blocking, the timing.
Mhm.
If that's not here, this this part just becomes frustrating.
Yeah.
And there'll be lots of back and forth, which you don't want. You'll be going back and you're trying to jump there. And then you're trying to get back here because it's not right. And then you need to go back there. No. Just go in chronological. Just go, yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah. And you'll be good. And that way the stress levels are more manageable.
I have one more question. So for next weekend, um, what do you want for me? So I can, have a vision of
Next
what
week. And
you're.
actually, I was just going to show you that. So I'll show you what some other students have done, and this will help you. Just with the camera and the basic shapes. And I think this will really help you create a nicer layout. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So see how there's just reference in the corner,
Yeah.
made a nice edit, which you've done. And that's just, see how the poses, there's no pose, right? It's just the shape of a dinosaur he created. And that's a giant robot, not a giant human. But he just created this block with basic head and arms. And this information is enough for you to work on camera and the timing of the beats of the hit when he comes in the frame, where he is in frame. Um,
Yeah, I see.
Chessy, he's
Good.
just kind of yeah.
Nice, cute, cute kid.
And that information helps you focus on, again, camera, beats, timing, framing of
Mhm.
everything. Looking at this shot, I gave him the overall note was, we looked at momentum and stuff, but one of them was we looked at it with this speed, 18 frames, and because it felt quick, so now we play it a bit slower, 18 frames, and now they feel big and heavy. Slowed down. There's so much weight. There's so much more heaviness to it. So what we did, so what now he can do for next week is stretch out the shot to what it plays at 18 frames. He probably had to add on, I don't know, an extra 3 seconds, and that can be done quickly because he just has this thing with, probably like locate on there. Just you have to figure some one control and camera, and you got your references in there. This tells you, this just explains to you what's happening in detail. And then at the end here, I was like, let's make the dinosaur closer to camera and the robot bounce over here, screen right more. So this composition and distance is nicer. And that you can do in all of this, you can do in a day just because it's super basic, super rough. And then once this is done, you have this blocking and template camera layout to move forward into the next stage, right? And you'll feel more confident going into the next stage.
Yeah.
And I'll show you quickly, just get me a witness cam too. And that's as basic as it gets, but it tells me so much, right? And it tells
Mhm.
you as well, it gives you all the information you need. It's
Exactly.
like robot running in, knocking a dinosaur over through the fence, and then your camera is on the right. So really keep it as basic as you need to.
It's good to see,
Yeah.
something like that. All right, I will do that for next weekend to have the exact the good camera movement, like you said, and the beats, so we can
Yep.
understand everything much better.
Perfect. I'll show you one more just to get the point across. But this will, I think this is really important for you. This is good stuff. Here's another one. So what Jan did here was two blocks fighting, and he just drew poses on top. I think grease pencil or Sing Sketch, but he blocked out the timing of blocks. So, and
Hmm.
then you got your camera in there, and that's the basic feeling of it. And then his reference in the corner, and really he just created a fight scene with two blocks. Worked his camera around it. The camera moves in there, background stuff or reference, point of reference. Yeah. So
All
all the
right.
timing, all the timing you can feel is in there. You can
Yeah.
fill in the ideas as you go with references, and it's also in your head. It helps you like your head just organize your
Exactly.
thoughts.
It's
So
good to see. I know what to do. I will make something like that for next weekend, so it will be
perfect.
clearer for you and for me.
Yeah, yeah. And then this is you get into your poses later, but that will help you. Now you can see where to put your camera with your action.
Hmm.
And then once your camera's down there, you're going to be like, oh, I want the dragon over here now. I want it closer. And then you're going to feel everything a lot better.
All right.
But yeah, feel free to use just a block,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
so you're not bogged down with poses. And some people even use the rigs, but when you see the rigs, you want to pose it. So use,
That's yeah, that's exactly all right, good.
yeah. I don't know if you've seen David Hahn's webinar on the Ninja Turtles shot he did,
No.
because he did the exact same thing. Um, Let me quickly show you
Yeah.
while I have you here. Yeah, seeing everyone else do it, it's like, okay, now I get it. I don't know if you've seen this shot.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, yep. And then, oh, yeah, here it is. So yeah, he's got the sphere here. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
and
actually seen his final stuff, but not the beginning. So all
okay,
right.
yeah.
Mhm.
So this is his Ninja Turtle. So he wanted to make sure the camera was good,
Okay.
and he used the sphere. And then later on, he just constrained the Ninja Turtle to the sphere as a starting point. But he wanted to make sure he got the moon in there, the city, this
Yeah.
nice camera like going across the building,
Hmm.
and it says here he wanted to constrain the camera to the sphere to make sure that felt right. And yeah, he got like this cool shot out of it. So yeah,
Good to know. All right.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's what you can do for next week.
All right.
That'll help you a lot.
Is there something more?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, how's that sound to you?
Yeah, that's perfect. I think it's going to help me to visualize, like you told me, the timing, the camera, and everything you said. So, because actually, they at iAnimate, they all started immediately with the rigs.
Mm,
So, doing like you said with a simple block to have the camera, the timing, and the beats,
mm.
it's going to help me a lot because sometimes I freak out and I get crazy and I start telling myself, "All right, it's over. You're getting too late, and I'm wasting too much time." But yeah,
Never feel that. If you ever get to that stage, just reach out, message me, and like just say you need a hand. Like let's have a look at stuff, and we
all
can.
right,
If you want me to look at anything, I can have a chat, or I can do a recorded feedback for you, just to get
yeah,
you moving along.
it's
Just
very
yeah,
nice. It's very
yeah,
nice
just
from you.
yeah,
Thank you.
no worries, mate. Don't freak out. You're doing good.
All right,
You're
thank
doing good. Yeah.
you. All right, I will. I know what to do for next week. So next week. So
All right, mate. I look forward to it.
thank you very much, Eddie, for your time and for the good stuff. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah. No worries, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
thank you. Bye.